So, welcome back everybody to this week's video, which is about the VLOOKUP function. The VLOOKUP function is together with the if function, the function I use the most in Excel, and for that reason it is important to master this function and to know everything about it. So please enjoy this video and learn all about the VLOOKUP function. Well, this video is about the VLOOKUP function, and I first going to explain to you the theory of the VLOOKUP. It uses 4 arguments, and the first argument is the search value. It's gonna search for a value in a search area, which is the second argument. And when I'm, for example, use grapes as a search value, and this is my search area, it's going to search for grapes in this column. It always looks for the search value in the most left column of your search area, the first column of your search area. Well, in this case, it will find grapes here. And when I want my turnover as a result, I need as a third argument to type in the column or row. Well, in this case, the column row is in a HLOOKUP function. The column which is the result in, so the first, second, third or fourth column. Well, the turnover is the fourth column, so I should type a 4 for this argument, and then it will find the turnover for the grapes, because it looks for the grapes in this column, it finds it here, it goes 4 columns to the right, and this will be my result. Well, the last argument is the true or false for an answer to the question if you are looking for an exact match. Well, do you look for exact grapes or approximately grapes? That's basically the question. Is it true or false? When you look for an exact match, it just looks for the exact grapes with the capital and the multiple, the S behind it. And if it's not with a capital, it won't find it here. So basically, that's the theory. Now we're going to make some practices. And like I explained, I will look for the turnover of grapes. And I'm going to type the VLOOKUP in here. I'm going to type is the equal sign VLOOKUP. And I open my function and I'm looking for grapes. I can just type grapes in this way because it's text. You need to put it between quotation marks. But I can also make a cell reference in this. I typed grapes here so I can reference to this cell. And I can type semicolon to go to my second argument, which is the table array. It's the search value of the search area. And the search area is this area. Well, basically what I'm saying is it looks for grapes in this column. It will find it here. Now we're going to our third argument, which is the column index number. And the column index number is the column number in your search area which contains the result you want to see. I want to see the turnover, which is the first, second, third, fourth column in my table. So I'm just gonna type a 4 in here. Well, I want an exact match. So I'm gonna type false because I don't want a match which is approximate. I'm gonna close my function, press enter, and here is my result. The result is the turnover for the grapes in my table. I see grapes. My turnover is this, and this is exactly the cell that is found by my VLOOKUP. Well, I'm gonna do a second example. Number of sales for strawberries. I'm gonna do it a bit quicker. I type equal sign VLOOKUP, and I am looking for strawberries, and I'm looking in this area Well, it looks for strawberries in the first column. And my column index number is the number of sales, which is the first, second, or third column. And I want an exact match, so I will type false. Press enter, and here are my sales for my strawberries. I find strawberries here. I'm going to the sales, which is 1227, which is exactly what I found with my VLOOKUP. What I want to say to you, always make sure your column index number is within your table array. When I type a 5, for example, here, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth column is outside of my table array, and that will give you an error message. I will show you in a second. I can also do a variation on that. I can type look for the temperature on the latest date in this table. So then I'm gonna combine some functions. I'm gonna combine a VLOOKUP with a max, and that's done in this way. I can show you. I can type the equal sign and I can type VLOOKUP, and now I'm gonna use a function to determine my lookup value. I'm gonna type max, open the max function, and I'm gonna select this range, close the max function. So it's gonna look for the highest value, because I use the max function in this array, which is 2721, 20th of July, and that determines my lookup value. Now I can press semicolon to go to the table array, and I'm going to look in this array. I want the temperature as the result. The temperature is in the second column, because this is the first and this is the second. So I just type a 2, and I want an exact match. So I use false for the last argument. So when I press enter, it should find 23, because 20 July is the highest date in this table. And I'm looking for the highest date with my max function, and I press enter, and it nicely finds the 23 as a result. So that works. You can just combine functions to determine your search value by a other function. Well, we basically did all our practical examples with the false as a last argument. Well, now I'm going to show you what will happen when you use true. I'm going to look for the temperature on 9th of July in this table. It won't find the 9th of July because it's missing. It's not in the table. But what happens when I will say equal sign VLOOKUP? I open my function and I'm going to look for the 9th of July. In this table again, it won't find it. It's going from 8th July to the 11th of July. My column index number is the column with the result. It's a second column because I want to show you the temperature. I'm going to type 2. And now I'm going to type true. So true means I get an approximate match. Close my function. And what will happen? It gives the result 22. The 9th of July is between these two. Well, what Excel does is it looks for the 9th of July. Well, this is not the 9th, but this is also not the 9th. This is also not the 9th. Here it's going over the 9th. It's bigger than the 9th of July. So it takes the row above that one, and that is the search result. So it's going to take the 22, which belongs to the 8th of July, as a result. When I change this true and a false, and it's looking for an exact match with the 9th of July, it just gives you the error not available. And that's true, the 9th of July is not available in my table. So when you get this error message, always check if you did use the right argument in your range lookup. In this case, it needs to be true. You can also use a name in the VLOOKUP, and I'll show you. I can give this area a name and I can call it database, for example. Press enter, and now when I'm looking in this area, like I did with this function to look the number of sales of strawberries, well, this is my table array and I can replace that by database, like I just made this name. I can press enter and it still gives me the right result, and it uses database as a table array. This way of working makes your functions much more easy to read, because when I say I'm looking in the database, it's saying much more to me than when I say I'm looking from B10 to H15. So that's the thing I wanted to show you. What error messages can we get when we use VLOOKUP? Well, you already saw the NA, which is not available. The search value is not found. That can be because your that's always when your search value is not found in the left column of your search array. So make sure your search value is in the left column of your search array, or just use true if that is necessary in your function. What will happen when we, for example, change this 3 into a 5? It will give the hashtag reference error message. And like you could see in one of my earlier videos, the hashtag ref means there is something wrong with your reference. Are you referring to the 5th column in your database? Well, what is your database? It's this area, and it only contains 4 columns. So Excel will never gonna find something in the 5th column because it's not looking there. It's not in my array. So that's the reason for the hashtag ref error message. So you can just solve this problem by choosing a column index number which is within your array. So I can type 3, 4, 2 or 1. It will work, but 5 will not work. So that are some error messages you could get when you use the VLOOKUP, and you also saw how to solve them. So thanks for watching this video about the VLOOKUP function. I hope you understand the working of this function so that you can use it a lot in the future. And don't forget to like if you enjoyed the video, and if you did so, please also consider subscribing to watch all my new videos about Excel.